Kyle Hamilton was moved from limited to did not practice yesterday. They're all pro safety. Roquan Smith, their defensive leader, their inside linebacker, he hasn't practiced all week with a hamstring, and they are banged up in the secondary, on the outside on the secondary, with their cornerbacks, with Marlon Humphrey, with Nate Wiggins, Jair Alexander, all dealing with some degree of injury right now.
The one good news that they've had so far is that they were missing Van Noy, and he's been limited all week. So if their edge rusher Kyle Van Noy comes back this week, it doesn't completely make up for all of the many issues they have defensively right now. But they haven't been getting a good rush off the edge. Matabike's out for the year on the interior. That's really the big one for me. But, I mean, at the very least, if Van Noy comes back and they've got him matched up, against Ariante Ursary a fair amount, that is something that it's not so simple for the Texans to handle.
Did you ever think that you would ever say about the Ravens that Lamar Jackson, and I'm saying it, Seth's not saying it, but Lamar Jackson, if he misses this game, then that's an issue for the Ravens, but the bigger issue is on the defensive side of the ball? Is that a bigger issue?
It's a tough,
because they still got all their weapons. There's no skill. There's not a single skill guy that matters that's on the injury report right now. For Ronnie Stanley, not a skill guy, but an offensive lineman. He's the only prominent name offensively other than Jackson that's on the injury report. The defense, which already was not great, is Swiss cheese right now.
I guess it's interesting. Two things about that.
Yeah.
Is one that this year so far, the offense is the only thing that's going to keep them in a lot of these games and just have a chance to win. But also that they're facing a Texans team where the strength is the defense right now.
Yep.
And that not having Lamar Jackson, it's going to hurt you versus this defense. Cooper Rush is that, and everybody, please trust me, I'm the last person that needs to be reminded that the Texans defense has had some letdowns versus lesser quarterbacks. Yep. I get it. Yep. But just on paper, looking at it, not having Lamar Jackson going up against this Texans defense, that's a big challenge. That's
a great point. You got to take into account who's on the other side of the ball from each of those units on the Baltimore side of things. So you're absolutely right. So that's the big storyline in this is the MASH unit that the Ravens have become, and that'll be the storyline all day on Sunday. Number two for me, though, is I am very excited to see Woody Marks in a more prominent role. But now the Texans seem to have woken up to Woody and Woody being able to do things that allow the ball in the right reads, that he's
in pass blocking.
That's what I was just going to say. In pass pro, trusting him in pass protection as well. All those things, in the pass game, the run game, and in the blocking game, he's shown that he's trustable in those situations.
And this is the part that you just don't know and you can't tell. And I try to give Nick Caley a break or D'Amico Ryans a break and how they've been using the rookies is that, you're not out there at practice. We don't know exactly how the rookies are actually performing in those first couple weeks of the season in practice. And it's hard to just say, throw them out there for 50 snaps because they'll learn it on the fly. So I get that part of it. It's just that as long as they're recognizing that now and that they've coached them up to where you can trust them and Woody Marks can be out there more on the field and you got to get him more targets, this could be this versus this Ravens defense, this might end up being like the really national rolling out of Woody Marks.
Yeah.
Where people realize, oh, okay, all right, the Texans do have something offensively.
Especially if they win. If they win, the Ravens being 1-4 is going to be a massive story on Monday. That they were the Super Bowl favorites coming into the season. They and Buffalo had the same odds to win the Super Bowl coming into the season. When the Super Bowl favorite is 1-4, and I don't care how you got there, if Lamar Jackson being injured is part of it, that'll be a major story. You're right. If Woody Marks does that in a win over Baltimore, that'll be big. For his
Didn't you have
profile.
some stat yesterday about how rarely two teams like the Chiefs and the Ravens being 1-3 has been
the favorite for the Super Bowl since the favorite for the Super Bowl has been lower than 500 through 4 games 3 times since 1987, and this is the 3rd time. It was the Ravens. Now 2002, the Rams were the favorite coming into the season to win the Super Bowl. They started 0-4, missed the playoffs. 1987, the Giants were the favorite coming into the season, went 0-4 to start the season, miss the playoffs. So the Ravens, it's not tracking well for them right now.
Look, I'll tell you what, the Ravens defense has been struggling mightily. They're going to be even weaker personnel-wise this week, no matter what. There's no way in hell all these injured guys are playing on Sunday.
Yep.
If the Texans' offense really gets rolling and things click some, it's 2 weeks in a row versus bad defenses where we'll have seen life out of the offense. I'm going to take it into the bye week, and hopefully they've got a week to figure out what's working, what they need to tweak, and everything. I'll be really. I don't know if excited's the right word, but I'm going to be very intrigued. I'll have that okay, all right, here we go.
Dude,
all right, let's do this.
Especially with the bye week. You know what I mean? Do you really want to be 2 weeks coming off of statistically decent performances, still being, I'm not saying you, I'm talking to the text page, being curmudgeons about the Texans? If they hang 28 or 30 on the Ravens, but you didn't like this or that about a 30-point performance, come on, man, it's the bye week. Be happy during the bye week,
I'm going to be a little bit like that. I know. Well, look, the best ever would be a 48-0 shutout. Okay? You know what? Is that too much to ask for a 48-0 shutout?
No, you know why? Because we have been cursed as a city in sports over the last few months with all the injuries to the Astros, with the Fred VanVleet injury. We've been the Ravens' be-off for the last couple of years. We are owed a 48-0 thrashing.
Listen, before Framber's last start, when nobody except Seth Payne believed that Framber could do it.
That's right.
And I said, this is my lottery ticket.
Yep.
Framber's going to go a complete game shutout.
You went
today.
Powerball, yes.
And I was short. I came up short, but you aim high, reach for the stars. You might land on the moon, Sean. That's what I always say.
You do. You say that a lot.
Got it tattooed.
Yeah.
On my buttocks.
Constantly saying, shoot for the stars to land. But you're right.
Because of the moon. There's a joke there because of the moon.
And what happened with Framber? 7 good innings. It was fine. Yeah.
So I asked for a 48-0 shutout. I'll accept 37-3.
That was my question. What's the Framber 7-inning equivalent here for the Texans?